Namaskar everyone. That's how we greet people here in my place. Welcome to A Discourse With, a podcast where I, your host Asit, talk with everyday people just like you and me who are trying to make a positive influence on the world. Because let's be honest, there is a lot of bad things happening, right? Especially since 2020. Anyways, these people come from all walks of life and do all sorts of work. Some are students, while some are designers. Some are helping people by delivering their products at their doorstep, while others are saving your lives as doctors. Really, anyone can be a positive influence in this world. Before we begin, if you end up liking this podcast, then do follow us on Instagram and Twitter at A Discourse With. If you liked this episode, then please review it on Podchaser or Apple Podcasts. If you'd want to be a part of the community, then join us on Discord and Telegram. Today's episode stars Bilal Ali, a wonderful human being whom I first met through a podcaster's Discord community. He also has his own podcast where he talks with even more creative people about all sorts of culture and country and a wide variety of differences that make us human. This episode is kind of a continuation from one of the older episodes that we actually have hosted on Bilal's podcast. You can go and give it a listen before listening this, or you can listen to that after this. And we talk about India, Egypt and the Western world. So be sure to listen to that podcast. That's kind of part 1 and this is kind of a part 2 in theory. All the links are in the show notes below. Let's begin. So, how has it been since we last talked? How has it been in Canada?
So, since we've last talked, our cases they went up like for a while, right? And now they're starting to kind of go down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had like a shutdown for a pretty long time. We've been going on and off like shutdowns, going back to stuff and then lockdown again, and so back and forth, right? But right now we're on another like kind of going away from the lockdown again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good, because I'm a gymnast, right? So it's good to be back in the gym and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and have they started this vaccination for you guys?
Yeah, they have. But only for right now. It's for the frontline workers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the people who are like the doctors and stuff like that. Yeah, and then after that, I believe it's like gonna be in the next stage, like elders. Yeah, so seniors and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then after that, it's like the general public, and they're saying the general public should be in like maybe September-ish.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Same. It is the same for us, but we had less cases like during the whole of pandemic. But now again we have started seeing more cases.
Oh yeah.
The new strain from Africa, I think. Yeah. It somehow came to India, and now they're again planning for a second like lockdown.
Yeah. I know I didn't know there was a second strain in Africa, but I know there was one in Britain, and then
No, they are talking about Africa. They said the Britain one is not that effective. I don't know.
Oh yeah, really?
This keeps on evolving. Nobody knows what's going to happen next.
Yeah, it's hard because especially when like they started to make like the vaccine, right? It's for like the old like COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So then now there's like new strains, like you said.
Yeah.
So then they have to like make new vaccines for it as well, and it's like it's never ending,
And by the time that new one comes, again another strain will be here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sorry.
This is tough times. Don't know what.
Yeah, it is. It is really tough. Yeah.
So you are going to college, right?
I'm starting university next year in September, hopefully.
So is it like right now? What's the situation? Is it fully online, or are they inviting like
Yeah,
people.
for university, it's fully online
Mm-hmm.
basically. Like there's some certain classes where it's like, they have like labs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where they go do certain things in the university, but for the most part it's all online now, right? And then but for high schools and elementary and junior high, um there's the option of going in class or online.
Oh, okay. So they are providing you the
Yeah,
options. So
yeah,
why not like fully make it online and like allow people to come when there is a like something that has to be done practical, like labs or something like
yeah.
that. Why not do like that?
That would be ideal, right? That's what they're doing with the universities, right? But the reason they're not doing it with high school and
Mm-hmm.
elementary and junior high
Mm-hmm.
is actually because of the economy, right?
Oh,
Because yeah, when you think about it, right, when the like kids and stuff, they're like stuck at home, right, and they're learning at home. A lot of
yes.
the time, like there's parents who work, right, and some of their kids might be like too young, or they don't like trust them to leave them at home alone. So then it's like the parents are gonna have to like stay away from their work, and then the economy is just gonna go down to trash, right? So sadly, it's like ideally they should do it all online, right? But because they care about the economy, and they don't want it to like go to trash, they give you the option, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's for us it's kind of confusing actually, because in some areas it is totally online, some areas it
yeah,
is totally offline, and
yeah,
even the same government institutions, some institutions they have put on online classes, some institutions they are calling
yeah,
people to classes. It's like it is, we can, there is a rule, but it seems like nobody
yeah,
is following that. They are, everybody is
yeah,
means they are like on their own, like we will decide what has to be done, because the government is
yeah,
not
exactly,
giving any
exactly.
clear like instruction that so and so should open offline,
Oh
so
yeah,
and so should open online. So everybody is just following their own rules.
yeah,
That has created problems because like let's say there is
yeah.
a college near my house, but people from all around the India are coming here to study.
Hmm.
So the problem now is they are calling
Oh
students
yeah,
offline, but from far areas, like from the furthest areas of my country, people cannot come because they have a
yeah,
lockdown going on there. Then now whoever wants to come here, they're seeing in the news that a lockdown in my place, like in here, my state, there will be a lockdown because of
yeah.
the new strain, and so they do not want to come. But the teachers, they are not understanding this. They are
Oh
saying
yeah,
you have to come, otherwise there will be no like lab practicals for you.
yeah. That's it's sad, It's and it's a problem that's occurring around the whole world, right? Where it's like
Yes.
yeah, where they either it's they're not taking it as serious as it is, or it's due to like economic reasons or something, right? So it's it, it's like a problem, especially since not only the fact that like so many people are dying because of this, right? Of course that's a huge problem, right? But another problem is the fact that we're gonna stay in this for a long time if we don't take it serious, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's something that's kind of annoying, especially since like we all want to like start going out with our friends normally, right, and all that. So
Yeah, we're waiting.
yeah, yeah, we've been in this for like a year now.
Yeah.
Take that in. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On that topic,
hopefully.
actually, people not taking it seriously, it's kind of strange because here in our country, I wanted to discuss about that, because here in our country, the belief that COVID is not real, or like
Yeah,
vaccinations won't help, that kind of like beliefs
yeah.
are very, very less in my country. Very few people strongly believe that
Wow.
science will like save people. People believe that
Yeah,
taking vaccinations is good. Although yes, uh,
yeah,
the first the first vaccination, what I'll say, trial that is going on right now, that
yeah,
people don't want to take because they know it's a trial, because the vaccine was out
yeah,
so quick. So nobody
yeah,
is like 100% sure that the vaccines are actually working. They want to take it, but they are confused with the fact that since it is a first phase, it might not be working great, or it might be having some side effects. So to mitigate that, what the government did is they sent the vaccinations to all the medical schools. Okay.
Yeah.
So medical schools will,
and then the students have to take it.
Yeah, students, they took it because see, they are medical students, right? So even if something like, let's say, goes wrong, they have, at least they are studying it right now, so they know that what they have to do. Because if the general public starts to get all sorts of like side effects, then they will make a mess out of it on social media, or let's say anywhere, right? And that will create a lot of other problems. Some might even file a case, who knows, and that give me my money back, or because of the vaccine my children died, or anything like that. So what they did is they sent it to all. Continue.
I was just gonna say that regarding that, a lot of people actually here too, they have, I think, even more probably than India. A lot of people here are like, they're like anti-vaccinators, right?
Yes.
And then basically, right. they're like against the vaccine and stuff, and they're saying the same thing that you're saying right now, in the sense that, they're saying that it, like, a vaccine usually takes like 5 to 10 years to come out, right? How did they do it in like 8 months or something, right? But then at the same time, so we got to think about this as well, right? Is that usually when a vaccine comes out, the work they put in is over a 5 to 10 year period, right? Because they're not working as hard to find like the vaccine for it or the cure for it, because it's not a huge problem. Like it might be like the cold or the flu, right? So it like, it's not a huge problem. But then with COVID, right, it shut down like everything. It messed up, the whole world and the economy and everything, right? So that basically, when the whole world is like shut down like that, they like all the medical, around the whole world are focused around making, this one vaccine, and they want to make it, nicely and well, quickly, so they can go back to normal life, right?
And the funding also was significantly raised by governments.
Exactly.
This has to be solved very quickly. So earlier, like let's say HIV or anything like that, because it is not a immediate threat to like whole of the humanity, so the funding was very less. Like governments would wait and see. Otherwise, private companies would want that if we are not having any sort of immediate profit, why would we waste all of our investments in it? But now in this COVID vaccine, like whoever has the COVID vaccine is kind of now, they are rich. Let's be clear. They are helping us out, but they are also getting a lot of money for this. So this accelerated the vaccination efforts. But what I am noticing is, why I thought, because Canada and US and all the Western countries, they are to be like on the technical side, Western countries are more educated, they are more sophisticated, they're more technical and scientific oriented than Eastern countries. Because Eastern countries are just coming up now. So despite that, I see that Eastern countries are believing more in science than like Western countries, because I see a lot of anti-COVID and anti-vaccine people, like even they're saying blaming 5G, right? That is kind of like ridiculous. Nobody is saying any such thing in India. Like they are aware that there are radio waves, it might be problematic for us in the long term, but nobody is saying like COVID happened because of 5G or so and so happened. So why do you think, like what's the reason? Because people around you also might be saying some kind of stuff, like such things. So why do you think that it is so? Because they are supposed to be, especially Western countries are supposed to be like more educated, right? Western countries are supposed to be more scientific. Yes, because people look up to like Western countries in terms of technological progress. But then we see this kind of stuff. And I think that Asia is far better than North America in comparison.
You make a really good point here, and I hadn't really thought about it before, right? And yeah, it's actually a really good like thing to think about right now, because especially to answer your question, I think for sure, Western countries are like more advanced, right? But I don't really know the statistics of, like the average population, what their education level is like, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I know that like uh what is it, like maybe like 50% of people here in
Mm-hmm.
Canada,
Mm-hmm.
they go to post-secondary, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means like 50% of the population, their education is all the way only up to high school, right?
Yes.
So maybe that plays a role into it, where it's like, a lot of people, they haven't really pursued farther education maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, not only that too, I think the reason, Western countries are so advanced is because, we have like high funding and a lot of money to invest into, the people who have who are in power, and the people who are educated, right? But then I think there's a big like proportion of the population who aren't actually that educated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what like most of the world sees is, just the advancements of happening in the Western world, right?
Okay.
But there's so many like backwards thinking people here still, so yeah.
No,
I don't know if that really answers the question, but
by
yeah.
50%, like, do you mean they don't even have basic education? Like the rest
No,
50%?
no, I don't know how many people go to regular education like until high school,
Mm-hmm.
but what that statistic I'm talking about is, 50% they go to post-secondary, so like university, college, and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
But I'd assume that the other 50%, most of them have gone to like have finished high school, because here it's mandatory until grade 10 to go to school, like by law, right?
Okay.
So if you don't go to school, like they'll come and like take you to school and stuff. So it's it's like it's a law here.
Oh, no, that kind of mandatory stuff is not here. It's a big
Oh yeah.
country. You can't enforce those kind of laws.
Yeah.
People are
Yeah.
trying to study, but like from village areas and all that places, uh, they're not sending their kids to like school. They're
Yeah.
making them work with them in their like household activities.
Yeah.
So
I'm
just now
sorry.
only we are like coming up, more and more people are joining like schools. It's
Yeah.
very new
That's
for
good. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm for those of you who don't know, I'm from Egypt originally. So
Yes.
yeah. So so we also, Egypt's a third world country. So
Mm-hmm.
we there's a lot of like educated people and stuff like that, but at the same time we have a lot of villages as well, right? And then in the villages, what Asad's talking about right now is it's kind of similar in Egypt as well, and I'm sure in many of the Middle Eastern countries and stuff like that, right? Where it's a high proportion, or a lot of the people, they don't really go to even like regular school, right? So their schools are kind of like in the villages, where they like sit together and they like, it's simple stuff, right? But
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like math and all this, right? So yeah.
There is no like advanced maths or advanced physics, advanced
Yeah,
science.
exactly.
Yeah, they just
Exactly.
know
Yeah,
the basics. So do you think like,
exactly.
because we have read, let's say you said 50% were in high school,
Yeah,
so I would assume that they would have just been given a basic knowledge that vaccines help us prevent certain disease, and then, but how did the idea come up that vaccines are giving us more disease than, like, because
yeah,
I have seen a lot of Facebook videos and Instagram like reels they are sending,
yeah,
that majorly older people, right, they are having this notion that government is like giving you this vaccines to, like, I don't know, they have very
and
weird thoughts and
yeah,
ideas
to
which
like
are,
get into your mind and
yeah. And even I saw like recently in the US, there was a snowstorm in Texas, right?
yeah.
And I saw in the YouTube that some people are saying the snow is not real, that China has given. It's very ridiculous to think of, like,
Yeah,
anything like that?
There's a lot of yeah.
Yeah, but why
It's
this mistrust in your like government? You are voting for the
yeah,
government, right? Is it the same in Canada? Because all of the videos and
yeah.
everything I have been seeing is from the US. Like, is it the same in Canada as well?
It's the not as much at all. Uh, Canada and the US are similar in a lot of aspects, but
Yeah.
in this certain situation, the US is kind of a lot of like they have this problem. I believe a lot more, right? But it's kind of I think it could be a
There
mistake
is
in
a
like the
lot to think
education.
about here.
Yeah, it is it's a deep question, because we don't usually think about this, but uh it could be a problem with the education system, right? Where
No,
like
the thing is, you guys do not like see Western media doesn't show a lot of third world countries, right? Or Eastern
yeah,
countries.
yeah,
They
yeah,
specifically show about you. But in Eastern countries, especially, I don't know about other countries, especially in my
yeah,
country, they'll continuously like so US and London news on the like their media channels.
yeah.
It's kind of like we look up to Western countries for aspirations.
Yeah,
We look up that yeah, US has said a very strong, given a very strong statement to
yeah.
China, let's say, and people here look up to it. Like if US has given it, then India should do the same.
Oh, yo, you have a lizard behind you.
Yeah, that's pretty common here. No problem.
Really?
You'll find lizards everywhere in the house.
Do you get scared or no?
No, it's kind of like they live with us.
Oh my
It's pretty
God.
common in this like in my area, in my country also. It's very
Yeah.
common. You'll find them everywhere.
Oh my God. Do you guys have like cockroaches as well or no?
Only if your house is like unclean, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, but these are pretty common. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Do they come on you while you're sleeping?
no. They just stay on the walls.
Oh, okay.
They never
Okay,
come.
good.
It's an
Okay.
advantage, right? So I don't know what they are called. The insects that come just before the rain. They always
Oh
stick
yeah,
to
yeah.
the lights.
Yeah, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. So these guys eat those. So
Oh
kind of keeps
wow.
the house clean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Bug free because these people eat.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty common here. Yeah. See, if you come down to country things, then a lot of things are different. Like
Yeah.
people won't expect it, but it happens.
Yeah, I mean, when I go to Egypt, like, we have also lizards like those, right? And
Yeah.
then, yeah, but then it's usually kind of like in weird areas, and then when we see them, we freak out, right? Because we're not really that used to them, and
No,
it's like
we're
it's so
completely
weird.
used to them. They are our friends.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
what were we saying?
Yeah, I was saying that like because you guys do not see a lot of Eastern media, so specifically because you are from Egypt, but you understand, right? When you
Yeah,
go to Egypt, you'll be seeing a lot of news about US, about Europe. But
yeah,
when you go to like you back to Canada, you won't be seeing a lot of news about Egypt or Asia or anything
yeah.
unless like Trump is threatening someone or like
Yeah,
China is saying something against the US or maybe Russia is threatening to.
yeah,
Unless it is that kind of stuff, you won't really see it, right? But
yeah,
we see the news of Western media and they show, right, like how people are not like believing in the vaccines. And at first, like
yeah,
I thought, it was very small percent of population, and because they are all on social media, so it it was looking like it was very big. But
yeah,
then I kept like the whole year, like we were in a lockdown, and I kept seeing all sorts of news, and I saw like
yeah,
and I felt like, why are people being this
yeah,
like uneducated? Like
yeah.
people
You
from
have
my village also won't like discard that vaccines are effective, but then
yeah,
you have been given every single privilege and you are saying our vaccinations are not good.
yeah. Um, yeah, you make good points because what one thing that is very true. I've I've lived in Egypt before and stuff like that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I see how like they show like the media in in the Western worlds and stuff, and everybody in like third world countries usually they really look up to the Western world, right, and America and
Yes.
stuff, and it's like that's a role model, and we want to be like them, right? But at the same time, uh, people in like third world countries aren't as as far as I believe, they're not as you know kind of ignorant as they're portrayed to be, right?
Yes.
Like
Correct.
yeah, and they're not even backwards on like a lot of them, right? It's like yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, when you like really get to know people, from like different areas of the world and who are living there, right? You realize that they're not so different, and it's kind of it's a problem that the media doesn't over here, it doesn't show us what's happening in the rest of the world. And sadly, it doesn't show us for sure the good things that happen
Yeah.
in the
That
rest of the world.
you
Yeah,
forget about good things being shown on media.
exactly.
It's the same everywhere. It's same here also.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but we just like we don't even usually see your media as you as Asad said, right?
Yeah.
But when we do it's usually something that has happened, like oh, like this dictator or something, right? It's like it's never really about we don't see the real people who are over there, right?
Yes.
So that's something that I guess it's media manipulation, right? Where
Mm-hmm. That is 100%.
yeah, exactly, they're trying to kind of just show you your little bubble of the world, right? And it's like America's not the world, or Canada's not the world, right? The world is the whole world,
Yeah.
India, Egypt, Russia, all the countries, right?
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, and then another, to kind of go back to what you were saying about how people in America and stuff, they don't really trust the government. I think that it's kind of just in the media, it's they kind of like show a light on the people who are like doing protests against this and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a big portion of like the people as well, they believe that COVID is real and stuff like that. Yeah, so like the regular person, when you go out to like a shopping mall, right, everybody's wearing masks, social distancing for the most part. So like you very rarely you'll actually see somebody who's like an anti-masker and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the media kind of just it like sheds a light on this, and it's like look at this, right? And it's like, but that's not actually what's happening, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I,
In
I
doing
don't know
so, they are
why.
actually like uh, giving importance to, let's say, more and more anti-vaxxers, right? So that
Yeah,
should not be done.
exactly,
And also,
exactly.
you have to kind of take into account, because I have seen this in my country,
Yeah,
because they see, let's say I see that uh, the anti-vaxxers, or say people who didn't believe COVID, they are getting
yeah,
the highlight in media, right? So then I see that, okay, those kind of people are getting highlight. But even though I do not believe that
yeah,
COVID is real, like COVID is fake, or let's say vaccines are not safe, I will
yeah,
still make a false negative statement so that I
yeah.
get the media highlight.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
happens a
I get
lot
you.
in my
Yeah,
country. People will say
yeah,
stuff they will never say face to face, okay,
yeah,
but they will just say for the sake of it, so that media comes and like puts them all over their papers and
yeah,
headlines and
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah. It's a real problem, honestly, because it's like it's kind of it's changing the people's minds, right?
Yes.
Because I don't know, like I'm not the media and I'm not like the government. I don't know their ideas
Yeah,
and their
yeah,
agenda and what they're trying to
we
achieve,
also,
right?
nobody knows, but
Exactly,
they keep doing that,
exactly,
and we keep seeing
exactly.
all these
Yeah,
activities.
yeah. So I don't know why they do it, right? But like a lot of the medias are kind of like influenced by certain things, right? So they might have like lobby groups, which basically they kind of uh they're like pushing them to say certain things, or kind of advocate for certain things. And it might be that they're the you never know, the government actually might be shedding light on people who are anti-vaccinators,
Hmm.
because they always make them look bad, right? Because I mean
Yeah.
it's dumb, right? But they always make them look bad. So then that could actually be kind of furthering the political agenda of the government, because they might want to be like, oh, in the future, we want the people to get vaccinated because it's for the good of the world. And then when we show them like how anti-vaccinators are and stuff, then they'll realize that, oh no, it's dumb if you don't get vaccinated. You should get
Yeah, that
vaccinated,
is
right?
kind of dumb.
Yeah. So I don't know, but it's media, it's a lot of the time it's all about manipulation and stuff. So it depends
Yeah.
on different
At the
things.
beginning, when I kept seeing this, as I told you, like I thought it was dumb, but then I had a deeper like thought process
Yeah.
about this. Like, why do they not believe it? That was my like question. Like, why do you not believe that certain things will work for you? Because they have been working for you, right? Till now,
Yeah.
vaccines have been saving us in some way or
Yeah.
another. Or even
Yeah.
even though you for like, let's say, okay, vaccines didn't work for you, but then there are medicines. The science helps. It works.
Yeah.
That's how we have survived all through,
Yeah.
like, since I don't know, maybe the Black Death, we have survived, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
works. So
Yeah.
do you think
You're
like
right. Yeah.
because you know uh, they have the privilege, like, see, because here in my country, if you say certain things, the government will arrest you for like saying it.
Yeah.
Let's say you say against the government, or if you say something very derogatory against the government, the
Yeah.
government will
That's
book
like
you
in
under.
Egypt as well and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. But the same thing is not applicable to US and Canada, or let's say to even to England, because people there
Yeah.
can speak openly about against the government, against any religion they want. They can
Yeah.
literally speak against anything they want, and like government won't do, because you must be very aware of this. Internet like blocks, lockdowns,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
must be very common in Egypt also, right? It is very
Yeah.
common here also. But see, even though the Trump supporters attacked the US Capitol, they still didn't uh, like block the internet. So they
Yeah.
have that kind. Do you think because they are having so much privilege, and now that they do not understand actually how much privilege they're having compared to like the rest of the world?
Yeah.
Because back here in Asian countries, forget about like Egypt or India, like let's take
Yeah.
into account Japan or South Korea or any such country, you do not
Yeah.
have that kind of like freedom.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
speak against some things, but not in the broad aspect that you can do in the US or in the
Yeah.
UK.
Yeah. I you have a point there. It's yeah, I feel, a lot of the time when people uh they have certain things, right? They can't like they don't feel it until it's gone, right?
Yeah.
They don't like understand it until it's gone. So, or until they've seen the opposite or something like that, right? So you know that could also be like, part of, like, we could trace it back to the media, right? How they're not really like showing us how the rest of the world don't really have that much freedom, right? And we have a lot of freedom, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
then we're like tricked into
Absolutely.
thinking maybe, oh, the whole world kind of has like freedom, and all this, right? But in reality, that's not true, right?
That's not
Yeah.
even 1% true.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But what I'm trying to
They
say
think
is
that
that,
they are in a bubble and the whole world is free. But in reality,
yeah.
the whole world is in a bubble and they are free.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, a lot of people, they think that the Western world is like really free. In reality,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, we have freedom to say certain things, but we also have some strict laws, right?
Mm-hmm.
That aren't really shown much to the other, like, to the world and stuff, right? Where it's like, for example, you there's like certain laws that are like, this is a hate crime, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, exactly, so you can't really voice your opinion like completely. So let's say you go and you're like, um I'm like, oh, I hate white people. I don't. I love white people. Okay, but I'm giving an
No,
example,
yeah,
right? If
yeah.
you're like,
We
yeah,
will get the
if you
context.
go, yeah, and if you go
Someone
and you're
might come
like,
and say, yeah, Bilal is racist now.
no, I have white friends, don't worry. But yeah, so you go and you're like, I hate white people, right? And
Yeah.
it's like oh, I like, if I see a white person, I'm gonna do this to him and this and this and that, right?
Mm.
We don't have the freedom to say that. Actually, you're like,
Yeah.
you can get arrested for that, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So there's like only so much freedom. Like for example, yeah, you can voice your opinion saying like, oh, I don't agree with like the government right now, right? But we also have like a constitution which with like certain rules and laws that are put into place that also don't give you the complete freedom, right?
Yeah.
and and freedom is also subjective, so it
Yes,
like
absolutely.
who, yeah, so who's giving you like the freedom, right? The government's the one giving you the freedom, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, so technically the government is the one controlling the freedom, like
Yeah, but
they
we
can
elected
take it
the
away and they
government,
can
right?
give it to you technically, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's yeah, I mean, like, to kind of just go back to what you were saying, um, a lot of people, I guess, here maybe who have freedom, they haven't really seen not having freedom, right, as much. So it's
Yes. I think that might be one
yeah,
of the reason, because you might be really like able to relate to this. Back in Egypt or here in India, just like you guys have like racism in US or Canada, the same we
yeah,
have against religions, right? In Egypt
yeah,
or here in India, you cannot like literally actually speak anything against like other religions, like because the
yeah.
other religion people would get angry and incite mob violence, right?
We have that here too, honestly.
Yeah,
You
but
know, in Canada too.
that is in case of racism, right? So what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, what they have as racism we have here as like religious
Oh yeah.
sentiments. It's
Yeah.
kind of same.
Yeah.
Yeah, racism is also
Yeah.
here in India, if you, but nobody really pays attention to it. Like we say in our local language, like he's so black and he's so white, we say that. If
Oh yeah.
you like, if a western if a person from a western country comes, he might feel very, either very offended or very weird, but we keep saying that. Like even our beauty creams and all the products they show in television, they all also specifically focused on making your skin white. They
Oh
will
wow.
literally, like they will literally put ads. Like right now it is changing
Yeah.
slowly, because a lot of people started protesting against it. But for years, like I would say, like for around 20-30 years this has been going on.
Yeah.
Even now it is going on, and it's not just for like ladies or women, it is also for like men. We
Yeah.
have men fairness creams, and they would show you like if you are black you won't get success, if your
Oh
skin
wow.
tone is darker you won't get so and so job, you won't get that, this, that. And then suddenly you put on their cream, you become white and you get everything. It is shown,
Yeah.
it is shown like everywhere, even in the ads. Even also now, if you I'll tell you, a lot of companies, if you search their ads on YouTube, you will be like surprised to see the level of, in your country it would be called total
Yeah.
racism.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here in
I
India it is openly talked about, nobody like
yeah.
points fingers at it. And even like,
Yeah.
even in our, in between our friend circle or something, we'll just naturally say it, you're too dark. We'll make
Yeah.
fun of that, we don't get offended by it. But yeah, we keep saying this, we have normalized this kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it will be termed as racism if this was US.
Yeah. I mean, I I believe that's racism because, you know, especially, um it's kind of like the meaning of racism, right? It's kind of, acting or
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
certain things towards
yeah,
a
yeah,
race,
yeah, correct.
right? So that is, defined into racism, right?
Yes.
And I've seen it myself firsthand, not only, in the Western world, even in the Western world, man. Like I know people who are like racist and stuff like that, right?
Hmm.
And
So, have
but
you ever, before like continuing, have you
yeah,
ever faced any such kind of like thing, because you are from Egypt?
yeah.
Have people ever pointed that out in any situation or anything
um
like that?
yeah, thankfully not really.
Hmm.
Yeah, but like
Okay.
sometimes, yes, people are for the most part accepting, and if they're not accepting, they don't usually openly, say racist comments, right? You have to like be like
Yeah,
close to them
especially
and with the
now.
same idea. Yeah,
Yeah, now you
because
have to be. very
you're gonna get
careful
so
about
much
that.
backlash, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not right, right? So
Yes.
yeah, so people don't usually say openly things like that, but you might like sometimes, kind of feel like naturally, maybe, if you're darker or something,
Mm.
because of the stigma and stuff like that. So you might think to yourself like, oh, like maybe I should kind of, dress a certain way so I can kind of look more white, right? Or something like that. But
Uh,
that's yeah, but for the most part, I'm like I'm very proud of my heritage, and I'm happy with who I am, So
yes.
I
Yeah, we all should be.
yeah,
There is
exactly.
no one
We're all
should be
humans.
blamed for, yeah, for their background, except of
Exactly.
course if you are a criminal.
Yeah, yeah, but that that one's different though. But in
Yeah,
the
that's
sense of,
different.
religion and in the sense of
Yeah.
race, we're all like, we all have different ideas, and especially when it comes to race, that's something that can't be argued, like you're born this certain color, you should embrace that we're
Yeah.
all beautiful to
Why
a sense,
have the differentiation? I don't
Exactly,
understand.
exactly. Yeah. But I was gonna tell you that in Egypt as well, right? Kind of similar to India and stuff. When somebody's born and they're like, they might be like a baby that's kind of, darker or something. I've seen it myself, right? They'll be
Hmm.
like, oh, like, oh, he's so dark and something like. It's like they don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
we have kind of
it's like
normalized it. Your friends won't get
exactly,
offended, but yeah, it's not actually
but
correct
it's not
to say
nice.
that.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
They are
yeah,
they are like, huh, okay, they will not feel anything, but yeah, but that is actually not a
that
good
is
thing to point
racism. Yeah.
out. Yeah,
Exactly, yeah. Because like, why does color matter, right? It
yeah,
doesn't, right? It's
yeah.
just a skin color, right? What matters is really, the mind of the person, the heart, and all that, right? The stuff that you
Hmm.
can actually work on and you can change, and not something you were born with. Like, who
Yes,
cares
yes,
about that, right?
absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, have you been to Egypt since the lockdown or no?
No, last time I went was in 2019. I miss it, man.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
so do you have any plans to go this year?
Not this year. It's really expensive, that's so it's we're probably not gonna go for like a couple more years or something like that,
You'll go in
right?
by
But
a plane, right?
yeah, it's by plane. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I
it
thought
would take way too long by boat. I'm pretty sure.
I thought you will go by the cruise ships.
Oh no, no, that would be so expensive. That would be like $10,000 a ticket or something. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, too
Recently,
much.
I started following this YouTube channel called Yes Theory. You know about that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I love Yes Theory.
One of them is from Egypt, right?
Yeah, Amar.
Yeah, yeah. He is. And I saw a video that it is very old, but
Yeah,
yeah, I was kind of surprised. So in Egypt, you have this law that you have to serve in the military.
yeah, we do. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah. He
called
was told.
conscription, right? Yeah,
Yeah, he was talking about that if you do not serve in the military, so you cannot go out of the country for 7 years or
yeah,
explain me the like whole law thing, because we don't
yeah,
have it in India. Like people are saying the government to make the law, because a lot of countries have this law that you will serve in the military for
yeah,
few years, right? But in India we
yeah.
do not have that. You will be surprised to know that the military is actually putting ads so that people join the military.
No way.
Yeah, yeah, the army,
You
the
know
air
what that
force
reminded me of?
and
That
navy.
reminded me of,
Yeah.
yeah, that reminded me of like World War II and stuff, because we learn about it in school, right? And then they show us like the propaganda posters
Yeah.
and all
No,
this
no,
where
no.
they're like,
They will
come and
put
serve and
they'll put ads like come join us. You will have very good salary, very good life, or like even if you don't go for war, like you
wow,
will enjoy the whole country. You'll go from this place to that place. You'll
wow,
have a life
yeah,
of dignity and all. They'll put all this posters because people are legitimately not joining the military,
yeah,
the air force and navy. They're not joining, and the
yeah,
numbers are. A while back the numbers were declining, but people are now actively participating. But yeah, that is
yeah,
something we do not have in our law, that you are forced to join the military or it is mandatory to join the military, so
yeah.
nobody does. And in fact the military puts ads, come join us, it's a life
You
of
know,
discipline and all that.
that's when you say, the military puts ads and stuff, it's it's pretty shocking. You know why? Because like I said, we learn in like social studies class and stuff, right? In history, we learn that like in World War II and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
Canada and all these other countries, they were like putting like posters,
War
and they,
posters.
the posters would be like, oh, come here, like, you'll make good money for and people would be smiling in war and all this,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
kind of make you like come, right? But
Yeah.
then yeah, but yeah, so that's why I was kind of, it's like, wow, like the history is all like over again, right?
Yes.
But
But it's pretty
yeah,
common. So yeah. So but
yeah,
Egypt has this mandatory law, right? So what does that
yeah,
actually?
they do. Yeah. So basically it's kind of like once once you finish high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like when you're 18 or something like that, actually not once you finish high school, it's once you finish university. Because
Okay.
basically everybody in Egypt almost, right? It's kind of like, like natural that you're gonna go to university or college, right? Everybody goes basically. And it's
Yeah.
like, if even if you got like a bad grade, right?
You'll still
It's
go.
like you're still gonna pay like money to go to like a private one, right? But
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so basically once you're done university, then you have to go to university. Yeah, sorry. Then you have to go to war, go to the army. Um and I can't remember how long you serve, but I think it depends, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's some exceptions that you like make you not have to serve, which
Okay.
is like let's say you're the only son in the family,
Oh.
then
Okay.
yeah, if you're the only son in the family, then you don't have to go to war, because it's kind of like, okay, he's gonna like take care of his, like, his mom and his sisters or whatever, right? So it's like they kind of need like a man in the house, like besides the father who's like working, like all this, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
So there also you
yeah.
have this kind of notion, right? If it's a boy, then he has to go. If it's a girl, then no.
Oh, no, girls don't go. I'm pretty sure. Like as far as I know, they don't go, right? But it's like, yeah, but yeah, but if you have like other brothers, and they're like over a certain age, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to go to war, right? And
Oh, okay.
yeah, and I think there's other exceptions as well. Like for example, if you have some like medical problem thing, right? Then you don't have to go, I believe, right? But those are basically the only exceptions. And then if you don't end up going, then you're gonna have like some government problems and stuff like that.
Oh, so the government will come knocking your door. Why didn't you join?
I don't know exactly what the government will do, but I know
Yes.
it's like
You
it'll
do
cause
not, like,
problems.
you are no more a citizen of Egypt, right? You are full Canadian citizen, right?
No, I'm still Egyptian Canadian.
Oh, you have dual citizenship.
Yeah, I have a deal. Yeah,
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
you don't have to go and serve,
yeah.
or they'll.
Because I'm the only guy.
Oh,
I only have
okay.
sisters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So the government
which is
won't
nice
force you.
because what would happen was like if I went to Egypt after I became an adult and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I had brothers and stuff like that, then I'd probably not be able to like leave Egypt. I'd have to go to the military, right? So it's nice.
So you are saved for now.
Yeah,
See, joining the
yeah,
military is not a bad thing, but then they do war
yeah,
for pretty shitty reasons. Like we have
yeah,
constant war with a neighboring country, Pakistan.
yeah,
Like both Indian people and Pakistan people are fed up, but
yeah,
for political reasons, we still have this border tension.
yeah, yeah. It's sad because a lot of the wars like we have, they're like over, dumb reasons and stuff,
Yeah,
and it's
over
like,
baseless
yeah,
stuff. Doesn't even
yeah.
make sense. Like why we are fighting.
Yeah, I don't know why India and Pakistan are fighting. I have a lot of like Pakistani friends and Indian friends, right? So,
Yeah,
and
they are
like I
fighting
know
a
like
lot.
some
Like
of them get along and stuff. It's
yeah. No, I try to like stay
yeah,
away. There is no point in going along, right? They are fighting.
yeah,
See, this whole
yeah,
thing started way back when British left was leaving India, and they divided the country and went away.
yeah,
So it's kind of like a
yeah,
scar from that time. Similar to
yeah,
how North Korea and South Korea. So North Korea and South Korea both were together, right? They were Korea as one nation, and but then Cold War
yeah,
happened and the country was divided, right?
Yeah, right.
It's something same with us. So the whole like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, they were all one country.
Yeah,
Before British left India, they divided
yeah.
the country into the three countries, and then
Oh,
they
the
left.
British divided it?
Yeah, they divided it. They don't
Okay.
teach you this stuff in history class.
No, we kind of like learn about it briefly, but I can't remember well. I thought what happened was that that Pakistan kind of, and like India, they had like, since Pakistan kind of became, mostly Muslims, and then
No, 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 no,
India
no,
was
no,
mainly Hindus, right?
no, no. It was not made like that. So India has a mixture of both, like it has a mixture of all the religions. If you would
Yeah,
actually take up, it has every like we have Buddhism, we have Jains, we have Sikhs, we have Muslims, Hindus, Christians, everyone. Okay.
yeah.
So, but what happened is before British left, so the leaving part was supposed to be like 4 to 5 years. So, well,
Oh, yeah,
while they were leaving, they would train the Indian people so that they would be competent enough to start taking charge, right? Because we were ruled for
yeah,
such a long time, we literally had no idea, right, back then.
yeah.
But what happened is the World War happened. Okay, and British was almost in like collapse, so they had to
Yeah.
leave anyhow, and the whole 4 to 5 year stuff have happened in 4 months.
Wow.
Okay, and they called a person, I think I forgot the name, I think his name was some Radcliffe or something, I forgot. Okay, anyways, so they called the person to make the map, and the person had
Yeah.
never visited India before,
Oh,
like
wow.
back then. So he came
Yeah.
up with the like most logical thing that anyone would like make. I would not say logical, but I think at that moment that was the only thing he could think of. So what he did was
Yeah.
he bought out the census chart, and that too that was old. Like at that time in 1947, it was already I think 5 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, and so he bought out that census like chart, and he plotted out all the religion distribution of a area,
Yeah.
and that is how he divided the country. So whatever
Okay.
portions were having high Muslim percentage, so
Yeah.
that they made that into Pakistan, and whatever was left out, like whatever was Hindu majority, was kept in India. So initially
Yeah.
Pakistan was two parts, West Pakistan and East Pakistan. So the East Pakistan is what is known today as Bangladesh. So the East
Okay.
Pakistan then fought for their own victory, independence, not victory, and
Yeah.
India supported them. It is
Why is that?
pretty complicated.
Yeah. Why did they want their own independence? Bangladesh.
I don't know, maybe because like so if you see the map of India, Bangladesh is actually at the eastern side, and the Pakistan is actually in the western side. There is no connection between those two countries. So how do you rule
Oh, so it's
a
okay.
country which has only access through air?
Yeah.
Right, it has
Yeah.
no land
That makes
connection.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it is very far away. Like let's say uh, one piece, like you have Canada, right, but the other part of Canada was in Mexico.
Yeah.
How would you do that? It is like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That would be hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was the case. So they fought for their independence, and like but the problem is because they divided the country on the basis of like Muslims and Hindus, like on the basis of religion. So the religion
Yeah.
sentiment is still there till today. People are understanding, but the government, like those who are not educated, the government is using this
Yeah.
agenda to like fuel their propaganda to get
Yeah.
votes and
Right.
all that. Yeah, and that's why we have been
Yeah.
fighting. We already had, I think we had 2 wars with
Oh,
Pakistan.
wow.
Yeah, the main was
Yeah.
the main was Kargil war, and we also had a war with China too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yes,
Wow.
that is a complicated. Yeah, I read about in like in internet, right? In England, they are trying to suppress this part of their history. They are not teaching all the colonialism they had to their like people,
Wow.
to their children in England. They're trying to take out all these dirty bits.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
England's doing.
Yeah, I read about it, that in their online
Oh yeah.
classes and all, they are removing parts of like they are telling they are not removing everything. Of course, you cannot do that, but
Yeah.
we had a lot of tragedy also. Like we had a massacre in a lot of places where people were put up in a compound and were simply like killed. They were shot at.
Yeah. It's sad. Yeah.
Hundreds of, yeah. So
It's sad.
those parts they are removing from their history books, kind of
Yeah.
to put England in a good light.
Yeah. It's messed up, if they
Yeah,
really are changing, like, the
but
history
people
and
don't
stuff.
want to
That's
fight. That's the reality.
yeah.
People do not want to fight, but governments keep doing it because it's one of the ways they have their propaganda, right? So if you vote me, I'll put more border like security on the fence. I'll put
Yeah.
more on our defense. I'll make sure like Pakistan is no paying for the war. It's messy.
Yeah. I know what you mean, man. It's hard. There's a
And
lot of,
also,
problems,
the
and
other fact is, you can say that the 9/11 that US had, and then we had our 26/11 in Mumbai at Taj Hotel. We
oh,
had
I
this
I didn't
terrorist
know
attack.
about that. 26
Yeah,
11.
yeah, we had a terrorist attack, and it
Oh yeah.
basically the people who had the terrorists who attacked India, they were from Pakistan. So yeah, but that doesn't mean the whole of Pakistan is bad, right?
Yeah.
So
A
even
lot
in
of the time
France, we
too.
see that a lot
Yeah.
of Muslims are terrorists, but that doesn't mean all of the Muslims are
Yeah.
terrorists, right? It's a
It's good
few
that you
people.
bring this point up. It's good that you bring this point up because a lot of people don't understand like they understand something else. They think, and here, like in the Western world, right?
Mhm.
They see like Muslims as terrorists, right?
Yeah.
And and that's what we were talking about. We're talking about like media
Yeah.
manipulation,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Even in India and stuff, I'm sure you guys, you see like what's going on in France. You see, a bunch of different things, and they only show you, you know this, like the amount of people who are actually, terrorists, right? You know how small of a like
Yeah.
percentage that
Yeah.
is. It's probably 0.1%, bro. You know how many Muslims are in the world? There's one over 1 billion Muslims in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
so
It's one of
so
the
we're like a
major
seventh. Yeah, it's the
ethnic
second
groups.
biggest
Yeah.
after Christianity.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you, like, if Muslims really, if Islam, the religion of Muslims, if it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
calling for terrorism and a war and all this, then you would see, so many more people getting killed, right?
Yeah.
Because how
We'll see like
it's such a big
Alexander the
population.
Great kind of stuff. They'll just
Exactly, you would see
go on
everybody being
conquering.
killed.
Yeah.
But Islam actually, the thing is, Islam, it calls for the opposite. Islam is such a peaceful religion,
Yeah.
and it's it calls for, like, unity and everybody to be the same and equality. So it's
No,
sad
the way
because
media
the
shows
media
it.
portrays what they want to see.
Yes, and it becomes like, see, initially, even it happens because they have kind of put this thing like that Muslims are like terrorists. So what happens
Yeah,
is when we meet someone we don't know and we see that they are like Muslims, we kind of automatically get a fear, like, will they kill
yeah,
me? Or if I become too much like friends with them, will they shut me up or something like that? And
yeah,
for that but we have like situations even in India also, where Muslim and Hindu communities, or let's say Muslim and Sikh communities, they are staying together, they're staying
yeah. Exactly, exactly,
helping each other. But the thing is,
exactly.
because they're portraying it like this, I had that fear also, because I was small, I didn't know, and the media was always
Yeah,
showing that like Muslims are
exactly.
terrorists and they are doing all the bad activities and all that.
Yeah,
And also the fact is, a lot of people might be doing terrorism in the name of Muslims. That might also be the case. Or it also
yeah,
might be the case that because the teaching of like Islam is so easy to understand. A lot of people are using it
Yeah.
to manipulate others into bringing them to their like bad activities.
Yeah.
Because see,
Yeah.
if I take like our major religion, the Hindu, which I am a part of, we have a lot of books. We have a lot of like things, and you would get messed up and you would simply leave and go away. But
Yeah.
if you take like Muslims, you have only one book, right? The Quran. And
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm thinking that also might be the case, because it is such a simple like thing to understand. Those who are
Exactly. Yeah.
like doing their bad activities, they might be using it and manipulating the teachings and saying that you do this in the name of your God and he will like help you
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You make a good point there, because it is true. Okay. So Islam, it's a very easy religion to understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
We you know what the goal of like Islam is, when like that religion became, its goal is literally to, free the human being from everything, free him like to God. So you basically like you surrender to God, right? And then now like when you're surrendered to God, nobody can have control over you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know why that's a problem in this world, is because the government, they want to have control over people, right? And then when they see that Islam, it's like calling for the total opposite, where like nobody has control over you except God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they see that, they're like, no, I want to have control over you. So that's where the problem, the idea of terrorism came out to be, right? Where they started doing like, oh, look over here, they just shot this person, right? Or ISIS, or look at all this, right? And in
Mm-hmm.
reality, it's all just to further their agenda, right? Of
Yeah, in
oh, like,
reality, US
don't
might
go towards
be
Islam.
paying money to
Yeah,
like carry out the activities in the Middle East countries, because they're
exactly.
already poor, right? They would do
Yeah,
anything for
exactly.
the money, right?
You're 100% right too, and it's it is true, they kind of they have like puppets in the Middle East and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's
America
they
has
just
a
do whatever.
very high military presence in the Middle East. That I'm aware
Exactly,
of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They might be
You're
using that
100%
to,
correct.
if there is no political unrest here, how will you like military companies earn money? How will we like? So US is always after oil,
Yeah,
right? We all know that. No matter who
yeah,
says
yeah,
it is not true,
yeah,
we all see it. They are always after oil. The reason,
yeah,
see, because if you take it like that, the cost of two, like 9/11 happened, right? The cost of two
yeah,
buildings was three countries. They went on to war with three countries: Iraq, Iran, and I think Afghanistan, right? Afghanistan was
yeah,
totally
yeah,
destroyed. They're not even like able to rise even today. But then US
yeah,
has all the oil production like supply to their like to US, and people in the US, they don't know it because their gas
yeah.
prices are never going up. They're thinking the world is good,
Yeah,
but no, because the US has like so many oil wells in their control. That's why the gas prices are not going up in your country. But whereas for the rest of the world, the gas
yeah,
prices are going up.
yeah, yeah. You're right. The US is always looking for more oil, and not only that, like I said, they're also looking, for control, right? And
Yeah.
that's you can say like that America is like a control freak, they're trying to, kind of have everybody be like them, right? When they show you like, oh, look at the ideal person, he's usually like a person you'd like think of as an American, right? That's to like put it into people's minds that it's like, oh, let's all transition into this. And that's all, part of the media. They're basically just trying to make everybody the same, because
Hmm.
imagine this, right? When people are the same, it's easy to like control them, right? You don't have to like change different ways to control different people and people spreading different ideas.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
already,
yeah.
we're all the same, so now I can control you really easily. Right?
Because
It's
if you
like
see, like, you have
so
all these
it's a
spy
big
networks,
problem.
the who has Mossad.
um
I
I
forgot.
don't know.
I think it's Israel. Israel has Mossad. Their secret division is Mossad. Anyways, I'm saying that all of these Western countries, they have so many advanced like weapons. Like you can see like the whole world from the satellite, right? You can put your drones anywhere, and then you are
Yeah.
unable to find a group of like terrorists who are creating havoc in the Middle East.
Yeah.
That's kind of,
Yeah.
you know, ridiculous to me. Like you have so many advanced tactics. You can see in the night, you can literally like go through hailstorms and snowstorms. Your
Yeah.
helicopters can fly in the rain, and still you are unable to like kill 4 people or capture 4 people who are creating nuisance in the Middle East. So that's kind, if you
And
think
see,
like that, it's
yeah.
kind of suspicious. Okay,
Exactly. Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
able to go to the
You're
moon, but you're unable to capture 4 people just in your backyard. So kind of,
yeah,
I feel
exactly.
like
And
they're
it's
not doing it on purpose so that they have a war to always point to. They say
yeah,
it has civil
yeah,
unrest,
you
but what I am saying is, you leave the country, let's see how they do. Like if they really need help, they'll ask for it. There is no need to you go and force yourself out there saying that we have come to help and then rage a war. It doesn't make sense.
yeah.
If
Yeah,
they
no,
need
no,
help, they'll ask for
you're
it. they'll
100%
they'll
correct
say,
because
they'll put out a message like, please help us, like the terrorists or so and so
yeah,
organization are not allowing our country to grow, help us.
yeah,
Like asking for help is not a bad thing. Countries do it all the time.
yeah, yeah. You're 100% correct, man. That's it's a really really good point because you hit it like yeah on the head. It's in uh, in reality, like the they
We went to
if you
Mars.
think about it.
We just landed a rover on Mars.
Yeah,
And you can't
yeah,
capture
exactly,
four
yeah.
people in the Middle East, in the desert.
And yeah, and you know what makes you like become suspicious, like the regular person and stuff, who's not even like a Muslim, right? When you're
Yeah,
looking like
yeah.
from afar, right? It's like it's such a small percentage, like we said, of people who are terrorists and stuff, right?
Hmm.
uh like when they're not able, they've been fighting these wars, in like
For centuries, yeah.
Iraq and all, in the Middle East, they were fighting for so many years, right?
As far as I
Don't you
remember, I
think?
have always seen like only war, especially in the Palestine area. I've
Yeah,
always seen, since my like I can remember, I have seen war and war,
yeah.
only war, nothing else.
Palestine's been going on for a long, long time, like maybe like 80 years or something. Palestine's
Yeah,
been going on for a long time. And Palestine, that's like a whole nother conversation. It is in the Middle East, but Palestine, the problem now with Palestine is, what it is that when the British, right, the British, they had like control, right, during the
yeah, yeah.
colonial period, the colonial time, right, they had control over Palestine, right?
All of the
And
problem, if
then
you point it
what
out, comes
happened
to
was,
British. They were
yeah,
in control of all these areas,
yeah,
right? That are today modern day Middle East and Asia
yeah,
and
yeah,
all that. So they
yeah,
had control over all these areas, right?
yeah, and then yeah, but basically they had control over like Palestine, right, during like the World War time, the
Yeah.
First World War, I believe. And then
Yes, yes.
they couldn't keep like, kind of, I guess, keeping their like money inside of Palestine and like their troops and all that, right? They need to like heal, so they left. And at the time as well, Jewish, they had a huge problem like around the world, right? they
Yeah.
were they were seen like as, very like low and stuff. And uh there were like a lot of problems with the Jewish, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So basically the Jewish, they what happened was that they wanted a home for themselves, right? They wanted
Yes,
to
yes.
have a place where they could call their country, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the British, basically, they gave they made a letter. What was it called? One second. um oh my god, I gotta remember this. One sec. I can't remember, but it was
Yeah,
basically
it's
something
okay.
like with a B. Oh,
Yeah,
the
okay.
Balfour Declaration, right? It was called the Balfour Declaration.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then basically this declaration, right, it was by the British Foreign Secretary, and
Mm-hmm.
he gave it to one of the, the big like Jewish personalities that were known, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it was basically saying that, Britain, we're with you guys, and we're gonna we're gonna like go with you guys into like we're with you guys and we support you guys having like Palestine as yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they basically said that Palestine is a land for the Jews. Okay. And in the Balfour Declaration they say this, right? Which is so a lot of the people, nowadays they like to argue that, Palestine, and they say it's Israel. They say that the Jewish, they have always had, you know, Palestine as their land, right? And in reality, the real thing that shows you that that's not true is the Balfour Declaration, right? This is a like it's a formal letter by the British Foreign Secretary that
Yeah, they just
it
said it for
says.
name. It's just like, no, friends, I'm there for you. But when you call them in the time of need, they won't come.
No, not only that. In the letter, they literally said, that this land, the Palestine, like the land of Palestine, is gonna be for the Jews, right? And there's
Yeah,
already, Muslims and Christians, and there's even Jews in
yeah,
Palestine, right?
yeah.
They were all living in Palestine, and then this caused a big problem, right? Because now the Jewish are going in, and they're like starting to call their land Israel, right? So
Hmm.
then they were having like issues and stuff like this, and then there was uh in 1947, was it, they made like a partition plan, right, where they split up Palestine and Israel, and they gave like Jewish people some areas in Israel, and the rest of Palestine for some areas for the Palestinians, right?
Yeah,
The Palestinians, they didn't agree to this because this is their land already. All of it's supposed to be their land, right?
yeah.
But then the Jewish, they started like killing them even more, and they took over the land that was even given for the Palestinians,
It's
which was already
messy.
their land.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now the Palestinians, they have such a small like part of the land. If you look at maps from the partition and
Mm-hmm.
maps before the partition and now
Yeah,
maps now, you'll see like it's just getting worse, right? Israel are just taking over more and more and more, and in reality
yeah.
it's a Palestinian people's land, right? So it's a big problem, and it's a big story.
Yeah, it's this border disputes are very messy. You should.
Yeah,
And some people even get offended if you talk about border disputes. Like they say, no, this is our land. No, this is our land. How can you say it like this?
yeah,
They'll, but yeah, this is the situation. Post pandemic, jobs are being cut.
yeah, yeah,
Future is uncertain.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
we will continue
definitely.
for another episode. I think on your podcast. Yeah, and for
Yeah,
those of you who don't know,
yeah,
we
maybe.
have a episode 1 on Bilal's like podcast.
Yeah,
You can go and listen there. So this is kind of a continuation of that, and we will keep this is like becoming like a mini segment now.
yeah, yeah.
We're having a secret no major segment in between our podcast sessions.
Yeah, it's definitely, we have good conversations, and they're deep and stuff, and they're important
Yeah,
conversations to have. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
for
Anyways,
sure.
yeah. Yeah, thanks man, thanks for coming.
All right, thank you
Yeah,
so much
we'll
for
definitely have
having me
another
on.
one.
Yeah, and if you guys want to check out my podcast, it's called Anything Goes with Bilal Ali.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's one.
yeah, thank you so
It's
much
been
for
on
having me on,
the
man.
Spotify top charts. You should definitely go and listen.
Is it actually?
Yeah, I think it has been like, yeah, I think Patrick or someone was talking about, right?
Oh
Your
yeah, I
on
know
your
it was on
podcast
the
only,
charts in
right?
Apple Podcast before. Yeah,
Yeah, so
I don't know
that's a
about
great thing.
Spotify,
Yeah, I
but
think okay. So I think I mistook the Apple for Spotify.
yeah,
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 that might be the
yeah.
case.
But
Yeah. Anyways,
thank you, man.
whatever. He's on the
Thank,
top charts. You should go and listen him.
thank you so much, man, for having me on. Thank you, I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
If you like this podcast, do not forget to give a follow. And for those of you who are on Apple Podcasts, go and give a review. Well, feedback is absolutely essential. I'll see you later.